Hey guys! I'm so glad you could join us on yet another Arty Wednesday. Today we are going to make a pop-up card. Let's go. We are going to be making a happy anniversary pop-up card, and this is how it's going to look. Exciting, right? And these are the art supplies that you will need for today's project. So you first grab your first A4 sheet paper. Now I don't know what you're using. If you want to use colored paper and you don't have colored paper at home, what you can do is you can grab your A4 size paper, paint the whole thing one color and then let it dry and then use it. And in case you want to use white paper, which is a regular A4 size paper, that is fine as well. But if you have colored paper at home, you can use that. So it all depends on what you want to do. So first I grab my A4 size paper and I fold it into half. Okay, so what I want to do is, like I always say in all my videos, make sure your edges are meeting together nicely. Okay, go very slowly. Both the edges on both the sides are meeting exactly, and then go ahead and fold your paper like that, so you get a nice equal fold. Now this is how our card is going to look, and it's going to open up like that. Okay, so now I want a marking at the center of this paper. So to get that marking, I try to fold this sheet a little bit to get that center mark. Okay, I'm not folding this part. Okay, be very careful, otherwise you'll get a line in the middle of your card. I just want that marking so I can understand that this point is my center of the paper. Now, so that you can see really well, I'm going to draw with a black pen, but you can use your pencil at this point, okay? So that when you want, you can erase the lines very easily. But because the video doesn't capture the pencil marks very easily, I'm going to use this black pen. So this was my center. So I'm going to grab my ruler. As you can see, all rulers will have cm written on it. Cm stands for centimeter. Centimeter. And let me just show you. This is 1 centimeter, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right up to 15. The tiny rulers will have right up to 15. You get larger scales as well, but this one goes up to 15. So for my first box that I'm going to make, and I'll show you what I mean by box, is I need 4 centimeters. Okay, so what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to put this marking that I did for the center, join the 2 centimeter line on the marking, so that I know that it's the it has to be the center. I need for the entire box I need a 4 centimeter mark. So I'm going to do 4 centimeters. Now this has to be done without actually moving your ruler, so that you get the exact marking. So make a nice mark. So from here to here is 2 centimeters, and here to here is another 2 centimeters to make 4 centimeters. Now similarly, I want to put my 2 centimeter mark here and make another marking here, and then from 6, 7, 8 make another marking here. So there's another 2 centimeter space from here to here and a 2 centimeter space from here to here. And I want to draw these lines, which is one this side and this side, 3 centimeter lines. So this box is going to measure around this 3 centimeter mark, which I'm going to again show you in a bit. If this is too complicated for you, you can watch the video again. When you watch it again, you'll understand it. Sorry, I didn't draw this line. Just draw this line, so I show you. Okay, so that's 3 centimeters. what I want to do next is I want to turn my paper like that so it's easily accessible. So now I'm going to go with explain this box first. Remember this was 3 centimeters. So I want to put this line exactly like that. So I get 3 centimeters this side and another 3 centimeters this side, which should make it 6 centimeters. And similarly, I mark my 3 centimeter mark here in the middle where I did the marking of the starting of the line. And in the same way, 6 centimeters line like that. So you get like an eye. Now, what I want to do is join this top line to this line. So I get sort of like a box there. And similarly, I want to do the same thing, but now you remember this one was a little bigger. This was the 4 centimeter one. So I'm going to do 8 centimeter line. 8 centimeter line here. If you're younger and you need help with this, please ask your mommy and daddy for help. I know it takes some time for little children to learn about centimeters and drawing exact measurements. So there's no problem, just ask someone who knows this work for help, and I'm sure they'll be very happy to help you. Same way, join this and join this. Alright? And then I'll do the same thing here, and this time again it's exactly like this one with the 3 centimeter mark. So 3 plus 3 is 6. So I'm going to draw 6 centimeter line here and a 6 centimeter line here and join these two lines together. Alright? Now, what I need next is my cutter. Now, at this point, younger children, please don't use a cutter by yourself. Ask a family member, an adult who knows how to use the cutter for help. This is very important, okay? That you ask for help and not try and use this by yourself. You open out your cutter, put the lock on so it doesn't move, okay? Keep a very tiny bit out, okay? It's very dangerous and very sharp, so be careful. Now I take my ruler. Before I cut, I'm going to put a base under this so that I don't cut the wooden part of my floor. So I'm going to just put this base so that my floor doesn't get cut. Okay, it's very important to keep an eye on where you do your artwork so you don't spoil the things at home. When I was younger, I have cut many bed sheets and all because I didn't pay attention to not damaging things around me. I was too busy doing my art. That's it. Okay, the same way, make a slip here as well. Again, place your ruler like that. The paper that I've put underneath this is a very thick paper, so it's not going to damage my flow. That's it. What I want to do next is, now since this side has all the markings, I'm going to turn my sheet like that and use the cleaner side, okay? you want to do the same thing. This side of the paper has all your markings and you don't want this to be seen on the card you're giving to someone, right? So we're going to now turn our paper around like that. And this is going to be the inside of our card. So you can now fold your paper on the other side. You remember we first folded it this way. Now we're going to fold it this way. So this is going to be the inside of our card. What I want to do is take one of my fingers or two of my fingers and put it behind this and fold this part up. So I get it like a sort of standing up a little bit, okay? And similarly, I want to do the same with this part, like that, and this part, like that. So what's going to happen is, I'm going to get these sort of standing up like that. What I also want to do is make a fold here at the bottom, make another fold here at the bottom, and make a fold here at the bottom. You see how my finger is going behind this to make a fold? And then turn it around and do the same thing on this side. Make a fold like so. If you need help to make it look a little neat, put your ruler there and then make that fold so you get like an equal sort of fold. Same way, this way, and make my fold, and this way, and make my fold. So what happens is, this is how the outside will look. It'll look like these are all cut out like that. But when you open it, you see that they are actually, this is how they look on the inside. And when you, for our card, this is how it's supposed to look. It's going to look like that. So when you open your card, these boxes are going to stand up like that. Like that. Can you see? Look at it, have a good look at it from all the sides. This is how it's going to look. The big box in the middle and two smaller boxes, cubes. They kind of look like cubes, but they are hollow cubes. These are the 3 centimeter ones. This is the 4 centimeter one, and this is the 3 centimeter one. And you don't have to make the same size as me even. You first experiment with the size I gave you, and then if you have ideas of your own, you can improvise and change it. You can have just 1 in the center. You don't need 3 at all. So this is going to be one of the things to start with. Now look at this. This is a bit odd, right? Obviously, we're not going to give someone a card which has holes in it. So this is where our second paper comes handy. I'm going to grab my second paper. And what I'm going to do is fold it again into half. Make sure it's equal as usual. Alright, so this is another card. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take this card, the previous one, the one with the holes, and place it inside this card. I'm going to put glue and stick these together so it's going to open up like that. Join me in sticking this now. Put your glue everywhere. Turn it around. In the same way, put Make sure you're always putting the glue on this side of the paper and not this side, because we don't want our glue to come into these, squares, because that's going to be sort of seen in the inside of the card. So we don't want the untidy part to be seen. You know what I mean? Make sure you get the edges nicely, okay? That's very important. Cover up your glue always so it doesn't run dry. And fold up your page. Let it dry up. If it's taking a little time to dry up, that's fine. So this is going to be our card. Can you see now? So the edges are all stuck, so it looks like one card. So when I open this up, this is how it's going to look. Now for the design of my card. Can you see this middle one? What I want to do here is when I open it up, I want the person to see a cake here. And here I'm going to paste some flowers. So let me show you what I'm going to do. So you want your cake to be a little bigger than that if you're making a cake. And what you also want to keep in mind is your measurement from here to here. So you have about 9 or 10 centimeters to play around with. You don't want to do any more because it shouldn't come out of your card, right? So keep in mind about like this measurement as well. What I want to make sure is I want the thing that I'm making to be about 10 centimeters big. I think I can stretch it to 12 centimeters. So I have about 10 centimeters to 12 centimeters to play around with. And this way I have about say 6 centimeters to play around with. So my cake can be 6 centimeters wide and about 12 centimeters high. So I'm going to take this paper and I'm going to draw my cake on this paper. So let me just make my outline box first, okay? I said I want 6 centimeters to play around with, and my cake can be about 12 centimeters high. It doesn't have to be the same. You guys can make a tinier cake as well, no problem. Okay, so let me draw a rectangle first so I know what I'm playing around with, okay? Now think about the layers of this cake. I want it to look like a wedding cake. So I'm going to make it 3 layers. So what if I divide 12 into 3 layers? That would be, each layer would be 4 centimeters. I hope you're not bored that I'm giving you a math kind of tutorial as well today. So I'm not usually so measurement strict with all my artwork. I'm more of a freehand person, but sometimes we need measurements as well if we want things to be accurate. So now I have 3 layers. Now this is just an outline which I'm going to later erase with my eraser, okay? So what I also want to keep in mind is I want my cake to be like big and then get smaller. So this layer is going to be exactly this size, which will be this and this. The next layer, what I want to do is I want to leave 0.5 centimeter from here and 0.5 centimeter from here. So I get sort of like the next layer. And then the top layer, I want it even smaller. So I'm going to leave 1 centimeter from this side and 1 centimeter from this side. So it's going to be like that. Now this is my cake, okay? It's going from small to medium to large. Now this was just the outline, okay? So now I'm going to go completely freehand with my cake. I first need to find my pen. So I grab a hold of my drawing pen. let me do my centers first. Yellow is very light here, and on this layer I want my flowers here, and again on this layer I want my flowers here. Remove flowers. Now my petals. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, it has to look very natural, so just go with the flow. Can you see it's starting to look like a wedding cake? A little bit of brown for the centers. You can do the brown later also. Purple. You see, your flowers can overlap each other, and it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. And a few leaves. So one leaf here. Now what I want to do is cut out my wedding cake, and for that I grab my scissors. I'm first going to cut around it roughly. Ta-da! That's my cake cut out. Now I'm going to move to what I'm going to put for the stick on the other two boxes. What you need is any kind of wrapping paper you have at home, or anything with any sort of design. What I did was I cut out the flowers from one of these sort of papers, and I'm going to use those. Let me just show you. I've already cut out a few of them. I'm going to show you how I cut out one. They're all similar kind of flowers. I got them from, again, old wrapping paper. This is how I'm going to cut it out neatly, okay? I want to follow the line of the flower. Can you see here? It's like all different, but I'm going to make it look like a proper flower. So I'm going to cut around the petals nicely. Like that. My baby is crying, so I'm going to have to check on her. 1 second. Sorry about that. One of the toys in my baby's room started playing by itself. So she woke up from her sleep with that noise. So let's continue cutting this. Now, you know why I did the cake? I drew the cake and I didn't cut it out from a magazine or a newspaper article. I'm going to keep this piece, okay? I need it. Is because I wanted to show you that in case you don't have wrapping paper at home, you know, because you might not have wrapping paper at home. It's been the lockdown, and maybe you're not the kind of person who collects wrapping paper and things like that. I collect them sometimes so that I can do artwork, but if you don't have it, the reason I drew the cake is so that you can have the option of drawing out your cuttings. You don't need to cut it out of magazines or newspapers. If you want to cut it out of magazines and newspapers, then nothing like it. But if you don't want to cut out and you want to do like something that you have drawn, then you have that option to draw it just like I drew the cake myself and then use a cutout for it. So yeah. Now I want at least 2 big flowers for each of my 3 centimeter boxes. There, a rough cutting out of a flower, and I want to stick this one back here. Let me give this a shape. What I'm going to do is stick on some glue on this white part. Stick it back on like that. So that's one flower, and this is the other one. They're both similar looking flowers. I'm gonna stick it on my card. Let's get the card you've made. Open it up. Remember, keep in mind how it's opening up. Okay? And when someone opens up, your pop-up has to be on this part of the card. So that's where I'm gonna stick it up. I'm going to start with my cake in the center. So this square, that's where I'm going to put the glue. Be generous and then place your cake here and stick it up nicely. See that? Make sure it's sticking nicely. Make sure, oh, you can see, this is what I was talking about. When you measure wrong, so I'm going to cut that cake a little bit, okay? So it's a little shorter and doesn't come out of the card. I measured here to here, so first I was measuring correctly. Anyway, I'll fix that problem. So that's my first one. So forget about the old measurement of the cake that I gave you. Make sure your entire cake is about 10 to 11 centimeters. Let me show you how much I had to cut out. I had to cut out like almost 1 centimeter, 1.5 centimeter of the cake. So make sure your entire cake, so that it doesn't stick out of the paper, is about 10-11 centimeters, not more. Okay, if it's an A4 size paper, but you measure accordingly because the paper you use might be a little different. Can you see there's little baby hands coming in the picture? And I told you earlier that my baby was crying. I had to check on her. Look who's here. Come here. On your back. Look who's here. So she's watching me do my artwork now, and I'll put her to sleep after this. Sit up, my darling. Oops.
And you need to make it like us.
Okay, so I'm getting your hands in the video, so keep your hands a little to yourself and sit down. Okay, thank you, Neeman.
You're welcome.
Okay, so this is my card, and now for the sides, I want these flowers that I cut out. So I'm going to put one flower here. Now again, I'm going to make sure I place it nicely so it doesn't stick out of my card, okay? Like what happened with the cake. One flower is going to be this side and the other flower is going to be on the other side. So let's stick. Grab my glue again. Put some glue here and some glue here, and grab my first flower and place it like that. Place it as a nice.
The flower goes here, no?
Yes, that's right. So one flower like that. And
The baby here.
the other flower like that. Okay, so it's sort of like the backdrop of the cake. Now let me fold and see if it's gone out of the pitch card in any way. Then I'll cut out the extra parts. So just stick it nicely. And there we have it. Let me open it like that for you so you can see it. So close it and when it opens, it's going to be slightly sticking out like that. What also would help is that if your flowers that you're using are a little slightly thicker paper, so then you see my cake, it's standing up really straight, but the flowers are bending a little. So it would be nice if this material that you use as well is a little thicker. Or what you can do is, what I'm going to do now is, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to make it stick out a little bit. I'm going to keep a thick card paper behind it, so it kind of has the support. So let me cut out a few strips and I'll show you how to stick it. So what I did was I cut out 2 strips of that little thicker paper that I used to draw my cake on, and I'm gonna push it at the back of this, push it down a little and then stick it up to your flower if it's a paper.
My little baby. I love it.
My sweetie, I'll show you the video later. But if you put your head there, the other children won't be able to see it. Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
And the same way the other side, I'm gonna push this card paper.
But I can't see.
I'll show you. I'll show you on the video later. You push your card paper, or you push this card strip here, and then apply the glue on the other side of the flower, and you stick it up. And now you'll see the difference, that these flowers are really sticking out very nicely, and they are well supported with those strips behind them. Can you see? So it's your pop-up card. When it closes, it's going to be like that, and when it opens, it's going to pop up like that. So the person's going to be very surprised with your card. And this is how it's going to move. Now what I want to do is write on the outside of the card. And it's an anniversary card, so we're going to write happy anniversary. Now if you're confident in writing a happy anniversary without actually marking it out with a pencil first, go for it. If you're not confident, always write with the pencil first, and then go on top of it with a marker pen or whatever you're going to write with. And if you want, you can ask your parents to help you with this next part. But if it's a surprise anniversary card for someone, don't ask that person. You can Google a style that you want to write it in. I Google it, but don't use your parents' phone without their permission, and do not Google anything without your parents knowing, because it's not a safe place for children. So always do this with the help of an adult. All your browsing should be supervised by someone. So what I did was I Googled it and I found this font. So I'm going to try and copy that. Okay. I want it like sort of in the middle, so I'm just doing a marking, this sort of a light marking with a pencil, so that's the space in which I want it in. I want to leave some space here and some space here as well. And then I want to write happy on a slight curve. the pencil marks and all the spots which got dirty because of my finger and the glue all around. I'm gonna just erase with the pencil, okay? Erase with the eraser. So I get a very neat looking card. That's the neatest I can do. What I did realize is this happened here, so I'll just correct it. Yeah. That's it. That's a happy 10th anniversary card. It may not be a 10th anniversary of the person you are giving a card to, so you can make a birthday card, make a get well soon card, you can make congratulations on your new baby card, and you can put a little baby here, a picture of a little baby, pop up of a little baby here. What else? Be innovative. You can put congratulations on your engagement card, or happy first anniversary, or happy wedding day. So this is just an idea for you to improvise on, so you can make many pop-up cards, as many as you like. And this is how it's going to look, and I'm sure whoever you make it for is going to be very happy. Let me show you how the final card looks. That's how it's going to look. It's going to pop up very nicely for the person whose anniversary it is. We hope you like this video. That's all for today. Until next time, bye-bye.
Thank you so much for joining us today. If you liked our video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.